Good morning. Oh boy. Hold on, let me get my part straight. Hi, Cassidy. Yeah, you know who that is. You know who this is. That is. I'm talking about myself as if I'm a third person. Here I'm drinking my Burger King coffee this morning. I had to go out and get coffee and a little breakfast. I was not doing too well, so I needed to take care of that. So where am I? Geez. Well, I didn't get any writing done last night. There's a reason for that. This has been kind of a sucky week, and I haven't been having a good time of things at work. And I was plumbing the depths of the hormone trough, as they say. I was near the bottom of my hormone levels. I needed my shot yesterday, and so I've been having like crying jags um, at, at at work, where I'll just sit in my cubicle and cry for about 5 minutes straight. And then last night I come home, and just as I'm about to take care of things, I snap a nail. Look at that. I mean, I snapped that sucker right off. There's how it looked. That's kind of how it looked before. This is how it looks now. So I was not in a good mood. Let's just put it that way. Jeez. I went out, got dinner, had 3 glasses of wine, and just started like getting into depression really bad. So it was chilly last night, but I had my winter coat on. And I just went out and I sat someplace kind of safe, not like on the shores of the Susquehanna where you start thinking about, hey, a lot of bridges here, I could just jump into the river. And I just kind of listened to music and cried for about 30 minutes straight. I mean, literally. I mean, I cried for about 30 minutes straight. It was bad. It was one of those like my life is worthless moments, and I just was having a real difficult time. What can I say? So when I got home, there was no way I was going to write last night. I just couldn't muster it up. So I sat and watched Bob's Burgers until like midnight. I watched for about 4 hours straight. I just sat in my chair and did not move, and that was it. It was kind of a mess. I was pretty messed up last night. I'm better today, but I'm still, I'm feeling the after effects whenever I hit a low like that. And whenever I really, really, really get despondent, it's hard for me to actually come back out and re-engage people. That's one of the reasons why it's now 9:47 in the morning as I'm recording this, and usually I'm recording these at like 7 o'clock in the morning for upload. So that gives you an idea. Just trying to get moving, sorry, trying to get motivated. So I'm looking at several things. I want to go ahead and make an appointment to get like a facial and a massage and see about getting my nail repaired. Yeah, look at that. I hate that shit. And then I'm thinking about, my annual piercings. 2 years ago, I got my second ear piercing. Last year, I got my nose pierced right here. And I'm thinking about getting like an ear piercing like right here. Just one of those permanent earrings, where they just put the ring in it and just let it sit there. And I'm thinking of doing that like on both sides. So it'd be like, rings right here. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm thinking of doing that today too. And I will write. I got the kids back at school, and I want to talk about something important. Yeah, we're leading up to some things, and you're going to get into some of the things that are happening at school. You're going to find out about Annie and Carrie's private cabin in the sky. Yes, they do have a private cabin. And actually, there is one airline that does have private cabins on board their A380s. I know this because I did my research. They have, it's a different configuration than what I have. But there is an airline that flies a private cabin for two. So if you're traveling as a couple, you can go in there and sit and watch TV and drink champagne and stuff like that. There's also a semi-private. There's also a private cabin. I saw an article on it in Emirates for Emirates Airline, which is a single cabin. It's for one person, and you basically have, you know, you have your own private bathroom. You have a single first class seat that converts into a bed. You have a window seat. And if I remember correctly, the price of the ticket was like $32,000 round trip. Yeah. You're flying that. I swear. If you're flying a $32,000 first class ticket, you got money to burn. Let's face it. If I had 32,000 bucks that I could just piss away on something like that, I actually would do it. I mean, I would. I've flown first class before. It's nice. First class is nice. I've mostly flown business class, but I got upgraded to first class one time, and it's really nice. You do get spoiled by the amenities, and nowadays the first class service is like, geez, you're spending $30,000 for a round trip ticket. You're gonna have people coming in, giving you manicures and shit. It's incredible, some of the stuff that actually happens. So yeah, Annie and Carrie, first class cabin, private cabin. They are definitely styling all the way back to Boston. I love spoiling my kids. I really do. In a way, it is all leading up to something. They're basically being shown a level of, let's just say, they're being shown a level of service that normally the other kids would not get. Let's just put it this way. I don't think if Penny and Alex were traveling with their boyfriends, they would get the same kind of treatment. They definitely wouldn't get the same kind of treatment traveling together, and it's debatable as to whether Anna and Ilsha are actually getting that same kind of treatment. They're probably put off in an area where they're kind of by themselves. I mean, it's a huge aircraft. Jeez. It's so big, you're going to discover that there's an unusual thing about the aircraft that Annie will disclose to Isis once they get back to the school. So, yeah, got them back. They're talking. Pretty soon, it'll be first day of school, and we know what happens when they go out to the first day of school. First day back, they first visit Memory's End. They go out and see Deanna, and Deanna always has a nice cup of tea to give them. So yeah, they're. I've already got the vision warmed up in my head. I've run it through a couple of times, so I know it's coming. Yeah, I know. I sound like this gleeful, maniacal bitch. Yeah, I know it's coming. What we know about the visions so far is that they all are about events in our kids' future. and that they're actually seeing all these from a first person perspective. Like they're seeing the vision not as if they're standing back and watching it happen, but they're actually seeing the vision as if they're in the vision themselves. So it's a little unusual. And even Deanna says, when you see a vision like that, it's an indication of it's a very strong possibility of it occurring. Which means, now we know with the astral binding that the odds of Annie and Carrie getting married are like, right up there. It's like 99.9% possibility out of 100. The only thing that would prevent it from happening would be if they died. Literally. At this point, you would have to kill one or both of them to keep them from getting married. So we know that shit's going to happen. And now we have a confirmation based in this novel that the hotel room they saw in their B-level vision was the hotel room they stayed in Paris. So the possibility of Annie's vision where she saw them flying has to do with them actually flying somewhere, possibly into Paris on brooms. Well, what's going on there? Well, I know what's going on. So we'll see what happens with this vision that's coming up. Will it be good? Maybe. It could be. You never know. It could be good. Don't bet on it. So, yeah, I've been going over a lot of different things. I've been playing with the music. I've been working on Ostara. I got all these things going on in my head. The things that I'm not really working on are stuff like the Polar Express anymore, because I've spent like 4 years thinking it out. And a couple of other things. But stuff is still evolving as I go along. And, oh gosh, there was something I was just thinking about the other day. And I was like, that makes sense. But like, one of the situations, like the music in the bus, that popped up just recently. I thought, I should add that in. That'd be a nice little touch, because it sounds like something Carrie would do. Carrie, like it or not, loves performing. He really does. And that's another scene that you're going to see in the book, is that Carrie talking with Professor Ellison about getting his equipment ready for Ostara. I mean, first day back from school, it's like when he visited the keyboard room. He goes and sees Professor Ellison, and that was one of the things I said in the previous blog post, that I actually did research on. I've been doing a lot of research, really, on different types of keyboards for the kids to use. So that's an upcoming scene with Carrie saying, hey, I want to use this equipment. And Wednesday, in this current scene that I'm working on, the one you haven't seen yet, because I'm like 2 scenes ahead of you still, she's going to bring up something that was actually seen in the trailer. But she'll bring up something that was jokingly referred to. She'll jokingly refer to it, but it's something else. And you're actually going to get one of the scenes that's coming up. You're going to see, literally, how some of the stuff actually works around the school, in that they're able to seem to compress a lot of things into a full day. And especially like with dinner service, you're going to find out how that actually works. So, again, I've been sitting here thinking how the school actually functions and how these things actually go about happening. And it's quite remarkable, getting an idea for how I put everything together. So, boy, I'm always thinking, aren't I? It really is kind of weird. This is the first novel I think I've worked on since Nano, where I'm kind of still processing it as I go along. Something usually the A and B levels, I had those kind of all figured out. Well, most of the A level and most of the B level, the things that I had to work on were stuff like marionette training and the Kansas City event in the A novel. That was all thought up of at the last moment. I had this huge hunk of at the end of the novel, which was the Kansas City operation that I hadn't actually thought through when I started writing the novel. But I was like, I'm not going to get to that for a few months. Well, in reality, it was like almost, it was like a year before I got to Kansas City. It really was. So, because I got to Kansas City after 2014. I started working on it in December of 2014. So I'd been writing the novel for a year before I got to Kansas City. That's how these things go. So I've got the same thing here. I've got areas worked out, but I still need to put the details in. And who knows, something might pop up. You never can tell. So, gotta love it. I'm feeling better now. Coffee. Talking. It's 10 a.m. You can hear the church bells ringing, tolling the time. So, not gonna drag this out. I've pretty much had my say. I may put out this afternoon. I may put out another excerpt because why not? I've got the equivalent of I've got the equivalent of like 5 or 6 excerpts already written. All I need to do is just throw them in a blog post, and away I go. That's how it goes. So, but I'm going to write more because I want to get today's scene done because there's something important that actually happened at the school, and I want to get into that. Somebody's being a bad girl. That's all I'm gonna say. Somebody's being a bad girl. In fact, that's the exact phrase that ISIS will use. She's being a bad girl. That's all I'll tell you. So, coming up on 17 and a half minutes right here. I'm not going to drag it out any longer. I hope you have a good day. I plan on having a good day myself. I'll see you around. Maybe I'll get my nail repaired. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just let it go for a week or 2 or whenever. I'll survive. Don't worry. So, y'all take care. Bye.